welcome to what will almost certainly be our final stream of Echoes of Wisdom. I believe it's video segment 15. That is inflated by a couple of disconnections, including some that we had in the last broadcast. This is the post-game file, and which returns us to the point of no return, or just before it, with a star next to our file. And in the previous stream, we actually did finish the game and hit the end credits, and we were going to attend to some very minor items of unfinished business, except, like I said, we had rampant disconnections that made it impossible to continue, and so we're just going to run a very brief little epilogue stream today to clean up two final things. First of all, you'll notice that we're sitting at 19 hearts. 19 hearts and 3 pieces, and we spent a lot of time thinking about where that last piece could be. It did not come from collecting all stamps, which we finally did. I strongly suspected that it had something to do with this location here, the Summit Cave, since there was nothing there and we previously didn't have any kind of meaningful interaction with it. I spent some time looking for some kind of quest that would point me there and didn't find one. We also took note of this location in the woods, in the Eternal Forest rather, over there, since we are also missing one echo now that we see the total completion number, which sits at 126 out of 127. We're missing one right in the middle over here. It's not in the right place to be something like Spear Moblin level 3, which doesn't seem to exist, but I do have my suspicions. So we'll be attending to those two items today, and hopefully we'll get them done relatively quickly. I did have to look up a bit of outside information, which I normally don't do, to my great disgrace and regret. We did, in fact, have to resort to it this time. And it is relevant here because I actually did confirm from looking it up that my suspicions were correct. It is something to do with the Summit Cave. And I believe I wasn't able to find the path to the final heart piece there or any interaction with it because the game was actually bugged. I'm going to see if we can resolve that today, because maybe we can, maybe we can't. We're going to have to determine that for ourselves. In the meantime, while our camera is deeply zoomed in here, this was the other location that I was talking about that seemed empty. We wandered around here for a little bit at the post-game the other day, only to find nothing. This is a suspiciously empty location that looks like it's geared for some kind of mini-boss or some other major event. We just never interacted with it. There was never anything marked there on the map as far as completion goes for any of the collectibles, no treasure chest. So we're going to keep our eye on that because I suspect that is also something. So we'll return to it though, and we're first going to address the thing that I had looked up, which is that, as I said before, there is supposed to be a pointer quest to the Summit Cave, and for whatever reason it did not spawn for me correctly. So we do know what we're supposed to look for, but we'll have to prove that. And we'll just get back there and take one stab at it again. We've been checking that location repeatedly, actually, I think, in our previous session and the one before that, that I had long suspected that the Summit Cave was something, and that it was something still unaddressed. And so I did now spoil myself with the knowledge that it is, in fact, the one and only heart piece that we're missing. And that we'll have to see if we can get the quest to behave with us here. Oddly enough, prior to my previous session, we did learn that the game had actually been patched, and the patch didn't seem to fix whatever issue this was. Even though the patch had something to do with progression here on the Elden Volcano. Nope. We will, of course, jump and jump. A little less fussy than the Kroltula method when there are enemies on the field that Kroltulas might accidentally track. So yeah, the pointer quest is supposed to be on Goron City. And so it is supposed to be from the leader, Darstan, I think. But anyway, this is what we've seen every time we've come back to this room. Every time we come back here, we talk to him and he basically says welcome back, and that he's feeling much more like a chief. And that he won't ever forget what we did for him. So I did previously check the whole passage going up to the cave. I checked everything in the town. I checked everything around Death Mountain. Not Death Mountain, the Elden Volcano, which I repeatedly want to call Death Mountain. And yes, indeed, the game is bugged, because there is supposed to be a quest that involves Darstan. Apparently, the way to fix it is to warp and just reload this area, which I never would have thought of, because throughout the entirety of this playthrough, we have avoided warps. We have used warp exactly once this entire playthrough, and that was to get off Amber Mountain when the only passage back down from it in the early game was blocked and quest blocked by the big pile of snow outside the store over here. There was no way down from the mountain that I could see, and so we did in fact have to warp. That was the one and only time we've used fast travel in this game, and it turns out that I think we may have to do it a second time in order to see if it fixes this bug, because I did see it reported elsewhere that it does happen. So let's just warp and see this animation for the second time in the game, after fairly close to 60 hours of play, I think, on this file, simply because we have been really taking our time with it and doing everything slowly and exhaustively. Now let's see if it changes anything. It does not. So far, this is a bit concerning. But interesting. So yeah, possibly our ambition here to get the last heart might be foiled if this just flat out doesn't work. Let's try it again just to see. So yeah, it was reported elsewhere by someone who had run into the problem with the quest not spawning, that apparently you can just load back in. We of course loaded back into our save file many times, and look at that, now it works. That's interesting that I had to warp here twice. That the first time, even warping back in to reload this area didn't do what I needed, so I wonder what the condition is to trigger this, but it clearly is some kind of bug. But thankfully we fixed it. 2 warps. You see, the thing is, even if I had thought about warping back here, if I had not looked this up separately, I totally would have been dissuaded by the fact that it didn't work the first time. It's only because I had looked this up that I even kind of insisted on trying this twice here and seeing if it would happen. So anyway, it seems like the bug has been resolved, and so we will finally get this quest. Have I seen Darstan in a while? Far too much, I think. Sorry, don't mean to bother you, but Darstan hasn't come back yet. A little while ago, we started hearing strange sounds coming from inside a volcano, and I guess we'll head over to the Summit Cave at long last and finally see what's quest locked there. That's the problem with quest locking things, unfortunately, especially in a game that technically has an open world format. Some of what often worked best in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, although not always, because they had a little bit of quest locking in both games as well, which of course I ran into, because that's just the way I play. Was that in general, you could actually get to destinations ahead of time and, you know, do things your own way without hitting a quest first. This game is usually flexible about that, even in the introductory zone where we just skipped a couple of waypoints and headed right over the trees. But in this particular instance, the room would just not load, so... Anyway, The important thing, though, is that it's fixed and that we do, in fact, have the quest that I'm supposed to take. So yeah, one of the very few times we'll ever be thankful for looking up outside information, because there's absolutely no way I would have been able to do this otherwise. What are you doing up here? The elders asked you to check on me. And after the rift was mended, we started hearing these odd noises from inside Elden Volcano. I came to see if it was anything dangerous, and I found this cave. Yeah, it's something dangerous. Look at him curl up into a ball. I'm afraid this can only mean one thing. There's an old folktale about a flame giant who lives in Elden Volcano. So, mini-boss or something that is the last echo? We'll see. Gorons don't mind fire, but this giant's supposed to be so hot it even burns us. The story goes that someone once put out its flames and trapped it inside a volcano. Huh, interesting. Rematch with the seismic talus, perhaps. Maybe the sounds we've been hearing are the flame giant all lit up again. I hope it isn't. But if it is, we need to come up with a way to put out its flames again, and fast. Well, I have the Dripatune. We'll be using the Dripatune. That's how to do it. But yeah. I didn't spoil myself for anything else here. All I know is that this is the last heart piece, and that we were missing the quest because it was bugged. So this is going to be new to me. We don't know what's coming. But yeah, obviously you're supposed to move this here and go up if you really want to. Like that, or you can just use platforms the way I typically do, and just proceed from there. Climbing walls, you know what? We also just have clouds. We want to do this our way and just generally skip everything. Probably this will get caught up into flames. Yeah, I thought so. I guess we'll have to summon after all. Or, alternatively, oh, locked myself here. Unfortunately, spawned those too high and got trapped on the ceiling. That's okay. We could have actually just floated down from there. Oh, poor Platboom, just getting burned alive here. Let's get something that flies. Has to be something cheap for a change, unfortunately. Oh. Oh, whoops. I actually did capture it. Hang on. Come on. Let me pick you up. Alright, you know what? And we'll float around this way. There we go. Much more efficacious. So, dousing a flame giant, you say? Oh, we've got fire keys all over, and they're setting everything aflame. That's okay. We will, nevertheless, just head over, skip, and yeah, this looks like it's going to be walls all the way up, but we'll do things, once again, our own way. And then probably just take clouds over. And down we go. Okay. Now we actually have to time things, it seems. In conjunction with the lava. And we don't want to get torched by the slug. You know what? Let's just zap this. Doesn't go that high. Okay, good. Purple rupees that we don't need. We haven't needed cash for quite some time, in fact. Okay. And then we'll raise this up. Strangula here actually would have given me a bit of a shortcut, but no need to rush it. Speaking of Strangula, maybe I should have it ready. Just to have an easy way up. Where's my Strangula? There it is. In case we want a nice quick climb on the other side. Which is entirely doable. Oh, never mind, actually. Oh yeah, you're supposed to float on a rock, that's what it is. On the floating rocks. Strangula totally works though. You just need to be quick and precise about it, which we're not. Cloud also totally works. Up to a point. Except of course your time on a cloud is limited. Oh, whoops, nope. Dove through it. That was accidental. Yeah, no, it's totally doable this way. Or with Strangula. Yeah, you're supposed to drop the rock on the right, but pretty sure. Oh, come on. Let's try to jump there. Wouldn't let me. I was getting a little bit stuck with those clouds, actually. It's alright. The thing about those rock platforms that float, though, is that they're 2 tiles wide. And then, oh, too much of a dip. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, it's too wide. So actually, you do need Strangula at that point. Okay, clouds over to the right, then Strangula. Or Crawltula to go up. Okay, Strangula. Nope, and then... Well, that was irritating. Standing too close to the cloud there. Now, the Strangula actually totally goes up with the lava. That's important because it means that we can just spawn a whole bunch of them in a row and then make it across that way. That's promising, actually, because that means that we can just spawn a few of these. Or even keep the current one. And move up. There we go. Much better. And, Days asking why there's no face cam. No, we'd never run one. Don't need it. Also because I play in very low light. As expected, I thought it would be a rematch with Seismic Talus. It basically is, but we need to put out the fire first, so let's... Yeah, from the description, that seemed pretty obviously what was going to be the case. Let's see if we can get Dripitune going. And... Dripitune, where are you? Right. There we go, Dripitune. We better have more than one. Come on, rain them out. Maybe not then. Maybe we need something rainier. Oh, actually, no, you're in a cave. No wonder. Okay. Yeah, no, that's silly. You're in a cave. No wonder you can't do that. We're going to use Hydrosol. Yeah, it doesn't rain in a cave. What are we thinking? Just going to dose him. Oh, wow, what a punch. Okay, frogs aren't going to work here. Hydrosol should work, though. We've doused some into fire already. Oh, come on. You know what? He's only flaming in his head. We can totally still whack him down below. Okay, let's get a smoothie. And toughen up a little bit here. Yeah, glad you enjoyed the commentary. Thanks for coming by. And okay, let's get this going. Whoop. Damage reduction is working out pretty well here. We need to mine that arm though. You know what? We know arrow shot actually works on this. Let's just pelt it a bit. Yeah, we can actually take him pretty quickly. And then, there we go. Thank you so much for following. PC specs, not very good actually, which is why we are running at 30 FPS and occasionally have some problems with audio. I'm actually just running on an old laptop. I've planned to actually get a proper streaming PC build going for some time now, we just haven't done it. Okay, this guy's flaming hot. We need to douse him a little bit first before we attempt any shots. Okay. Kind of neat that you have a quest here with a unique boss that is, you know, not even a full dungeon, but you get this going anyway. Okay, come on. Dip your head for me. Dip your head for me. Come on. Nope. Okay. This is not working out as well as I would like. I wonder if I could actually just tap my arrows and have water arrows or something. I feel like we can actually just shoot him in the head at this point and we're fine, but we don't really... You know what? Actually, bombs are good against this. I totally forgot that in our boss rush rematch, I use bombs with him all the time. And bombs are perfectly functional. That's how we sped through him in the boss rush challenge in Kakariko. Oh, got another round. We'll need some energy for that. And yeah, you're saying you hope I get that PC upgrade soon. Yeah, it'll allow me to run quite a lot more than what I do now. I pretty much do everything off my Switch. And off my capture card, but you know, being able to actually stream things I play on the PC side would be great. Let's get Salted Milky going here. And we'll just douse him a little bit again just to get some of this out of the way, but we should actually once again go bombs once I'm able. Okay. Whoops. There we go. And then we'll whack it. Yeah, should have just gone from... Or bombs from the very start. There we go. Alright. And this is finally the last piece of heart. The last piece of heart, so... This is actually, now that I think about it, one of several unique dungeon mini-bosses, if we think about the 2 matches with Smog, for instance. But we are maxed out. That's the last heart. Okay, complete. And... Yep, no more of these to deal with. And if we look at the map, it will now say 40 pieces of heart. So, hang on, let's get the final... Whoops, hang on. Final look at this. Yeah. Always like to keep records. Okay, so... Now we have the last remaining echo to deal with. That's the last thing. Once again, like I said, in the previous stream I already talked about my suspicions about that place in the Eternal Forest. Oh. Let's cash in the quest, though. Interestingly, there is no quest checklist in this game in terms of a number of quests that you have or haven't completed that it displays after post-game. Unlike what we had in the recent 3D games. First a Rift, now a giant straight out of Legend. At least everyone in Goron City can rest a little easier now. So, oh, we get something on top of the heart piece. We get an accessory. Goron's bracelet. It's a Goron treasure that grants great strength. While you're wearing it, you can carry things faster. That would have been helpful. Heirloom bracelet that's been passed down through generations of Gorons. And of course, Zelda will pick it up. Okay, so... yeah, that's the other thing, is that there's no accessory checklist either. So I don't know if we actually have collected absolutely everything. I think I've pretty much done everything on a map at this point, apart from this last echo, though. Now, since I was already looking up whether this quest was bugged, which it was, I did look up something absolutely minimal about what was going on with the last echo. Because to the extent that I want to blindly search the entire map for hours and hours to hunt for things, we already did that last week with the Might Crystals, and I don't think we necessarily need to repeat that experience right away. And so what we'll do instead is, in fact, see if we can figure out what's going on with this spot. It is something to do with this. And there is apparently a hint that is very easy to miss, that I think I did miss. And we're going to look for it. I had my suspicions about which creature this is as well. And yeah, you're a commissioned artist, yep. Thanks for letting me know. Always see a lot of people looking around for some gigs here and there on that score. It's nice to have somebody to kind of interact with on that score, by the way, because like most of the people who come by querying about that are usually bots. And don't bother to say hello. But I can totally see why, if you are also scoping out for people who don't currently have a face cam, that some of them would be, in fact, in the market for VTuber avatars. So. And, yeah, I'm only reserving the artist role for the people who've already kind of contributed existing work to the stream, though, which is actually just one person right now, so... I might change that policy in the future, but we'll see. But not at this time, but I'll definitely get back to you if there's anything that develops. Anyway. Let's... oh yes, that's right. I was saying something about the hint. So apparently there's a hint at the sanctuary. And it does in fact have to do with this empty location that I'd scoped out, which totally looks prime for a mini-boss. I was saying in the last stream that I was kind of wondering if it was plausible for the last echo to be a Lynel, since we actually did see the Lynel model for the first time past the point of no return in the final boss sequence. And it did seem strange to me that we only ever see it that one time as a shadow creature from the Rift. Hi. So apparently there's a hint if you talk to someone in a sanctuary, for, yeah, the rumors, so... because we actually had talked to this character previously about all these things, and we didn't return to him, and I don't think I actually heard other tales. So let's take a look. And yeah, actually, because we only talked to him very early on, and maybe some of this hadn't opened up in the first half of the game. Because, or maybe we just didn't look at the text very carefully, so we know about Cold, we know about the close to talk to cats. And I'm pretty sure I never saw this hint. We got the cat costume, of course, but I'm pretty sure I never saw that hint. So, yeah, maybe we just never saw this page. Dangerous monster. This must be a... do you know the quiet forest to the northwest of here? home to a particularly dangerous monster, one rarely seen. If you spy any especially menacing tracks, please don't follow them. Please don't follow them. Reverse psychology. And let's see here. Other tales. Okay, so this is back to the first page. So yeah, we definitely never saw that hint. And we should talk to the cat as well. Let's do that quickly. This person friend is nice to me. He doesn't mind that I'm here and he scratches my chin. Sometimes others of your kind come by and they talk with him for a long time. Probably because he is so nice. Okay. Back to the costume that doesn't talk to cats. Meow. Okay, so we're going to go back to the forest and we're going to follow some tracks then. And let's switch back to something more regularly useful, perhaps. Okay. Yeah, and I don't think there was ever I think we beat the fast time for this one already. For any of the acorn hunts that did have a fast time, so. So we're going to go back into the woods, this entrance over here. Let's also fight these guys for a moment. Or just roll over them. Love the tactical flexibility of this game. That's been the really surprising thing about Echoes of Wisdom for me, is that, you know, you would think that the concept naturally lends itself to be a little bit puzzle-centric. It's not that at all. It's a very combat-centric game. And it has the best combat of the 2D series by quite a long shot. So yeah, so here's the grove, and we're supposed to follow some tracks. Now, surely it doesn't mean this trail of leaves, right? We should look for something that actually looks like footprints. But the trail of leaves is the only thing that even looks remotely like they might be tracks, unless I'm supposed to follow tracks at the entrance, which may or may not be the case. I feel like the leaves are probably the closest thing here. Oh, no. These are tracks. Yeah, I see hooves. This is going to be a Lynel. This is definitely going to be a Lynel. Totally didn't notice this. No wonder the game zooms in so much with the camera in this location. And yeah, going this way. Probably loops back around to the grove if I had to guess. Let's whip some of these guys. Previously we found Darknut 3 was able to just smack them. Because the axe we discovered does penetrate shields and armor. That is in some ways the point of using the Darknut. And Darknut 3 is just fantastic. One thing Darknut 3 is not fantastic against, though, is the Lynel, as we discovered. And as I didn't record on stream, because when we went past the point of no return in the final boss sequence the other day, we actually disconnected during the Lynel fight, and I didn't get to show how we defeated it. Because the thing is, the Lynel was actually one-shotting most things that I had. And I think we were kiting it using Sword Moblin 3 while Link, who was simultaneously in that fight, did much of the damage. Yeah, but unfortunately we didn't get to see any of that in video, because that's exactly when we DC'd. And yeah, it's going to get us back to the grove. Are we going to face it? Oh yeah, here it is. Does he see me? Oh, he sees me. Okay, so here's the thing that we ran into with Lynel as well. He outruns my fastest running speed. This was exactly the problem that we ran into when we faced the Lynel in the point of no return. I have 4 fairies, good. We will probably want damage reduction, just right off the bat. and we'll probably get through a few of these. So yeah, the problem is that I need to block him off with something, or he actually straight up outpaces me and chases me down. So we need to think about this strategically, because that's the reason I was using Sword Moblin 3 the other day, because the shield I was thinking would hold him off for a little bit and trap him. Now we could potentially also do the Mass Beamos strategy, because then at least it would stall him and create a blocking piece. I'm going to try Darknet 3 first just to stall him for the moment. Darknet actually does a little bit of damage. Yeah, it does flash. It takes more than one hit at least. Oh, whoa. Okay, he's going to slap me a little bit. Yeah, we stay on the other side of Darknet and it should be okay. Yeah, but even with damage reduction, he's doing 2.5 for... Oh, got him already. Okay. That was quick. Why, thank you, Darknet 3. That was easy. I did not expect that to be that easy. Okay, we got Lynel, and that is the last Echo. And let's take a look at the Echo page. That was actually almost kind of anticlimactic. So yeah, you'll notice that he's normally going to cost 6. And yeah, we're at 127 out of 127. I got him. And then at some points, the cost reduction applied to the Lynel as well for making him cost 5 instead. Not that we can use them in conjunction with very much. I wasn't expecting that fight to go so well, given that my previous experience with him in the Point of No Return was just trying to kite him with a Sword Moblin while being chased down. Anyway, we are actually done, completely done with the game at this point. It does seem a little bit anticlimactic to just end here after having an easy time with the Lynel, but I think what I'll do is I will first of all rest up into bed. And maybe we'll just take him for a spin here in the forest and get him to demolish some enemies like the Sword Moblins and just give him a try. I'm kind of tempted to just redo the whole final boss sequence and use the Lynel everywhere to give it a proper run. That's the problem with collecting something as a bit of a capstone at the end of the game, is you don't get to use them with anything. But yeah, Darknet 3, undoubtedly the MVP here. I did not expect to do nearly that well, but yeah, if you basically send him against Sword Moblin 3, for instance, he should just wreck him. I mean, Darknet 3 already wrecks these guys, but Lynel is just going to swipe, and actually does take a bit of damage, and oh yeah, just whips right through him. Almost wonder how he does with some of the boss rush challenges if we wanted to push fast times in Kakariko. That's, I guess, the one and only thing that I have not kind of gotten an absolutely true 100% on is the Kakariko speed challenges. Might even be worth it just to get Lynel to smack through one of those rooms, and we get to play around with him a little bit that way. It's not a bad idea, actually. Like, if we try to go for one of the mass enemy rooms just to have a more interesting time with this guy, and then we'll probably log off after that. This was always meant to be a short stream today, since it's just a quick little 100% cleanup, which we have now done. Let's figure out how to get out of here first, of course. And the camera is going to zoom out for me once again. Let's grab that carrot and ride the horse. Where is my carrot? There we go. Yeah, we take him into something like the Mass Armadillo room or something. Unless the armadillos, the chromadillos, just wreck the Lionel instead. We'll do something where I want to get the fast times just so we can progress with something, but then it will be, once again, the last thing we do in the game, and I just want to do it just to give the Lionel a chance to play. Because otherwise we just won't get any benefit out of having collected it as our final summon in the game. So yeah. Although of course the final boss sequence is fantastic, not this room. The final boss sequence is fantastic, and I'm not against just doing that a second time either. I doubt there's any kind of change in ending card or whatever though, so we'll just do a quick room right here. Something that we don't already have the fast time for. And we'll just mess around with the Lionel. Yeah, probably something like Chromadillos for Revenge. I wonder if they'll be so fast that they just bump into death. And yeah, Final Titan's Gathering we didn't have the fast time for. I wonder how close I was. And of course there's the first boss rush. But then Lionel's probably not too useful for that, so I think just to give Lionel a bit of a try, we will go Chromadillo. Let's preset him. I just want to see how well it goes. It is possible that they'll all just bump him like crazy and we won't get to do nearly as much with this as I think. Okay, let's get Lionel going. After them. After them. I actually think Dark Knight would be better in this room, to be honest. I could help out with a sword or the bomb or whatever, but I actually feel like it's more within the spirit of what I'm doing here to just let the Lionel kill everything. And then, what? And we'll just target him. Yeah, he's still not down. He takes a lot of punishment. Just not from Dark Knight 3. Come on. We probably won't get the fast time on this, actually, but... Oh, actually, yeah, there's still a Dark Knight, and I forgot about this guy. We won't get the fast time, but... I guess if we fight in conjunction with Lionel, we would totally get the fast time, so... You know what? Let's try it again. Just to mess around. Like I said, though, this will be the last thing we do. I wonder if there's friendly fire from the bombs. I don't think there should be. Yeah, because we'll just summon him and then switch into our other form. And then just drop this guy. Okay. And look at that. That's so quick. What a partnership. Under 20 seconds. Never imagined that it would be done so fast. That's actually different text than you typically get for doing it lightning fast, right? I wonder if it gives you a different symbol or something. No, it doesn't. It just gives you the symbol for the fast time. I wonder if it's the same dialogue as the usual dialogue we get for doing it quickly. But anyway, ordinarily, I would, if I were running a longer stream, I would actually try to do everything here and try to get a fast time across the board. But we're kind of far off by enough for the boss rush, and it takes long enough that I think that if we do it at all, it'll have to wait for some other time. I don't know if I'm interested enough in doing this, simply because some of the blank slate battle ones can be a little bit tight. Like this one, we barely made it. And yeah, the boss rush, even buying lots and lots of time, we weren't really quite there. But I'm glad we got to play with Lionel just, momentarily. Kind of tempting to get to fast time in this one, which should be easy, but I think we will finish. I think we'll be content to say farewell to Echoes of Wisdom for now. And so yeah, as expected, just a short stream today to get 100% and terrorize the local population here with our new companion. Terror. It's okay. He's with me. He's with me. He's one of us. But yeah. That'll be it anyway. 100% on everything. And nothing else to look at with this game, really. It took me a little bit short of 60 hours, I think, but that's because we've wandered so much in the early game, just doing everything we could without progressing the main quest as usual. And other than that, I gave most of my remarks about my general impression of the whole game last time when we hit the end credits. Yeah, very happy with it overall. Slightly underwhelmed by some of the dungeons. But this is not a game that's about that so much. And certainly, like I said, I feel like they've finally solved how to make combat in 2D Zelda interesting again. And it'll be, in that respect, pretty difficult to top. So, alright. Let's end here in Kakariko with Lionel just deciding to disappear. And that'll be all for this game. We'll have a lot more new content coming pretty soon. And more about that we will announce on the Discord soon enough. But for now, that's it for our 100% run through this game on Hero Mode. And that's pretty much all we have to say about that. So, thanks for watching. It's been a very invigorating month of just trying out all kinds of trickery in this game, and I'm sure I'll be thinking about it for some time to come. But for now, we're happy to put it aside, and wish you a very pleasant week with whatever you may be doing or watching or otherwise playing. And above all, as always, fare thee well.